Well, here we go again because I've been holding a lot back. I've been holding a lot back for months, but when people come at me sideways and tell me, "You're no fucking hero. You think you're the savior of Western North Carolina. You think blah, blah, blah." No, I never did. I never did. I'm nobody's hero, nobody's fucking messiah. I'm nobody's savior. There were a shit ton of other people doing the same goddamn thing that I was doing up there helping people. And I got to work with many of them as time went on, and we were all working up there. But there were some key things that I did that nobody else was doing, and they were mainly week one. After week one, all that information was out there. Everybody was well connected at that point to some group in some region, and things started to blow up from there. By week two, going into week three, I was no longer the most credible person. I was one of the most credible, but there were plenty of others that had got on board by, week two, week three, that were given the same kind of information I was given and pushing it out there 100% legit and getting shit done. And, I get credit for a shit ton of stuff that I did, but I couldn't have got done without other people. It was other people that made it happen for me. I was just, because I was the ending person that put it into play, I got the fucking credit for it, but you can look at it from a different perspective and say I was a glorified middleman at that point. But I did unify the regions. I went and networked. I was at my lowest. After I left Unicoi, and then Pisgah Forest fell through, and I landed in Candler. Then I went to Old Fort, and Old Fort fell through. I landed back in Candler, and I was at my lowest point. I was ready to give up, and it was the people that I inspired, that were there because of my videos and me inspiring them and getting them involved, that were giving me credit for all. It was those people, and there were hundreds of them that would not let me quit. They would not let me quit. They come out and basically told me that my name was so well known that it's not bullshit, that I could think it's bullshit because I haven't met all these people. And, I got a little taste of it in Black Mountain and thought that was, just coincidence. But they said, no, because of what you've done so far and in how many people you've inspired to help, they're not going to let you quit. Your name really is that, that popular. And it's because of how many people you inspired. So I couldn't quit. At that point, I started, I went and seen Travis. I went and seen a bunch of other people. I started networking, and I went around and I helped organize and unify the region. And even then, none of that could have happened without Mookie. None of that could have happened without Mookie. Without that tiny, because I kept telling her over and over again, before that place was just too small. It was 0.17 acres, a little tiny home. I said, it's just too small. We can't run a camp out of there. And going along with other people, and it wasn't working. So that's where I fell back to. And when we hooked up, Mookie had amazing energy. The morale boosted. Everybody was happy. Ricky came in. Eddie came in before he turned into a fucking idiot. And things were absolutely amazing. Matter of fact, with people saying that I'm the foundation, that I'm UTT, like you're the one that coined the phrase, you're the one that started it, you're the foundation of it, no, I was the fucking popular one. Let's be real. I was the fucking popular one, but I was never the foundation. Without Mookie and that little tiny, oh my God, we overlooked the most important things that are so crucial within success. I was looking for 2 acre minimum, 20 acres and everything, to have a team like Moonshine and ARG had in Black Mountain. And I just kept overlooking that 1.7, or that's 0.17 acres. It's less than a quarter acre. And that ended up being the most crucial piece to the puzzle, because from there, so much greatness birthed. And then we got to place in Canton, and even when that fell through, we were able to build up so much before we ultimately went back to Candler, where the Taylors reside, and were able to set up on their land and got a ton of shit accomplished there. But without that 0.17 acres, and without Mookie, there would have been no foundation for UTT. everything that came after that would not have been accomplished. Without that piece, that tiny little piece to the puzzle, and without Mookie coming in with her energy and her ambition and just boosting the morale and boosting everybody, giving them that push and that edge, UTT would have never existed and became anything and succeeded the way it did. That was the most crucial point, and that was the key. And she never got enough credit for it. Never got enough credit for it. Mookie and Ricky. Because without Ricky, our production would have been low. That man was like 78 years old when he showed up at camp. And he outworked all the youngins. Outworked all the middle age. Oh man, Ricky was a fucking rock star. And then Richie wasn't part of the organization long, and he became a chairman way later. But Richie was a fucking rock star as well. I mean, 3 good people that without them, I would have never got the credit that people give me and got the notoriety that people give me, because ultimately I got lucky and got popular doing what I was doing. But it was always them that were crucial people to help me make it happen. And many times they just made it happen. I was the fucking middleman. I've never been that arrogant fucking prick. I've never lacked, I mean, I can't say I've never lacked humility, because I have, in the past. But I'm just saying, in my adult years, over the past 15 years, I've never been the man that people accuse me of just because I get a little popular over my principles. I get a little popular over my principles because principles like mine seem to not exist anymore. Attitudes like mine, appreciation for others, and understanding that no matter how big people make us feel and try and boost our fucking egos, we're still just ants on the farm. We're still just small pieces of the puzzle ourselves. There's always something out there greater than ourselves, and you can never forget that often you cannot accomplish things without other people, because other people are key stones in the foundation in which you're building.